This conference will now be recorded.
अद्य गुरुवासरः अथवा बृहस्पतिवासरः आषाढ शुद्ध द्वादशी दिनांक 2 जुलै 2020 सहस्रयोगं जीवन्त्यादि कृतम् शङ्खं चक्रं जलौघान् दधतमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिरुद्यांशकपरिविलसन् मौलिमं भोजनेतरं कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यं वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगगवनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् प्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् ब्रह्मणो हि समारब्धामात्रेयाद्येषु पूरिताम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् आयुर्वेदरतं वन्दे माधवाख्यं महात्म्यम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं शिष्येभ्यो यः प्रदत्तवान् द्रष्टाज्ञानी दृष्टकर्मा कृतकर्मा तथैव च अध्यापको विषक्श्रेष्ठो महान् संशोधकस्तथा गुणैरेतैः समुदितैः यत्कार्यं प्रतनोति सः समृद्ध्यर्थं हि कार्यस्य वयं नु प्रयतामहे सरस्वत्यै नमो यस्याः प्रसादात् पुण्यकर्मभिः बुद्धिदर्पणसङ्क्रान्तं जगदध्यक्षं वीक्षते आत्रेयं प्रथमं वन्दे आयुर्वेदजगद्गुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं गृहीत्वा हि सुरेश्वरात् अग्निवेशादिकेभ्यो यत् प्रयच्छत् मुनिसत्तमः प्रथमं दन्तकर्तारम् अग्निवेशं नमाम्यहम्। जीवन्त्यादिकृतं तुलां पचेत्तु जीवन्त्याः द्रोणे त्वां पादशेषिते तत्त्वा ते द्विगुणं क्षीरं घृतप्रस्थं विपाचे प्रपंडोरीक काकोली पिप्पली लोध्र सैन्धवैः शताब्वा मधुक द्राक्षा सितादारु फलत्रयैः कार्षिकैर्निशि तत्पीतं तिमिरापहरं परम्। Is it available in the market? Jivantyadi Gurta of this variety, Timira, mentioned in Timira, he is speaking. So Jivanti Kvata, Dviguna Kshira, and Kruta Prastha, and Prapondarika, Kakoli, Pippali, Lodha, Sandhava, Shatava, Madhuka, Draksha, Sita, Daru, Pulatre. Nishita Pita. तर्हि एतत् निशिप्रयोक्तव्यं तिमिरापहं. Yes, sir, it is available. Okay. So this might be used. So I will think about this. प्रपौंडरीक काकोली पिप्पली लोध्र सैंधव शतावहा मधुक द्राक्षा सीता दारु फलत्रय. One karsha each. Bakshira dopasta. तो शायद मैं खुद के लिए इस्तेमाल करूं. ऐसे क्या हो गया है? The view is not complete. Costing 750 almost. Yes, it is costly. Available from Ashtang Hridaya Sutrasthan Timira Pratished. Ashtang Hridaya Uttarasthan. Part is slightly different. Okay. व्यू में कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है आज. नंबर को लैट्स करके फिर से देखते हैं. मालूम नहीं व्यू कट क्यों हो रहा है. इसमें छोटे व्यू में प्रॉपर दिखा रहा है, लेकिन यहाँ पे ये नहीं हो रहा. ओके, नाउ इट इज क्लियर. तिमिर रोग. पटोल निंब कटुका दार्वी सेव्य वरावृषा सदन्वयास त्रायन्ति पर्पटं पादिकं पृथक् प्रस्थमामलकानां च क्वाथय दर्भणेऽम्बसि तदाढकेऽर्धं बिल्वैस्तु घृतप्रस्थं विपाचयत् मुस्ताभूनिम्ब यष्ट्याह्वा कुटजोदीच्य चन्दने सपिप्पलीकैस्तत्सर्पे घ्राणकरणात् पुरोगमत् विदधते ज्वरदुष्टारुर्विसर्पापचिकुष्टनुत् विशेषात् शुक्लतिमिर नक्तान्धोष्मां ददाहरुत्. तो ये भी प्रचलन में है काफी, और ये भी मिलता है, ऐसा है. सो पटोल निंब कटुका दार्वी सेव्य वरा वृषा सदन्वयास त्रायन्ति परपटं पादिकं पृथक्. So if one pearl of each these prastham amalakanan cha vathe darbhanim basi. So then decoction is to be made. Tadadakerdham bilvaistu vita prastham vipache. Ardha bilva vita prastha. Mustabhunimba yashtavva kutijo dicha chandanehi sapippalike tatsak. So these are the kalka dravyas. Mustabhunimba yashtavva kutaja udicha chandana pippali. गोघृत पटोल निंब कटुका दार्वी सेव्य क्षीर वरा त्रिफला वृक्ष वासादन्वयास त्रायन्ति पर्पटक आमलकी बिल्व जल। Bilva is not a major, but Bilva he has taken as Bilva Phala. This is not clear. तुझ्या याच्यात भाषांतर काय आहे बरोबर? ये गृत कर्णनाद में यूज कर सकते हैं क्या? हाँ, कर सकेंगे। जीवन त्यागी ने जो अभी चल रहा है, शुक्ल तिमिरा मीनिंग सर, शुक्ल एंड तिमिरा। शुक्ल इज सवर्ण शुक्ल एंड अवर्ण शुक्ल, फूल पड़ना जिसको कहते हैं वो, और तिमिरा अलग है। तदाढ़के अर्धम बिल्वैस्तु तत्प्रस्थम विपाचे। इन्होंने बिल्वही किया है। मुझे लगता है कि मुस्ताब हुनिम्ब यष्टाव कटोटो दीप्च चंदने सपिक्कलिकैहि बिल्वैहि अर्धम बिल्वैहि कृतप्रस्थम विपाचे। बिल्व का कोई संबंध नहीं है। कॉर्नियल ओपेसिटी शुक्ल, यस, शुक्ल कॉर्नियल ओपेसिटी। तो मैं नहीं मानता, क्योंकि ये बिल्व बाद में आया है। तदाढ़के क्वाथे दर्भणे बसी। So after making this kvatha, कृतप्रस्थम विपाचे भूस्ता भूनिम्ब यष्टाभा कुटजो दीच्छ चंदने सपिप्पलिकैहि अर्धम बिल्वैहि। This might be the अन्वय, and bilva is one of the pramana. So ardham bilvaihi is the karsha pramana or something like that. And they are not musta etc. Typically, he has not given any pramana of these. कुटज उदिच्च चंदन पिप्पली, इसका कोई प्रमाण नहीं दिया गया है। और गोघृत is one prastha, that is fine. कृतप्रस्थम विपाचे, so ये अर्ध बिल्व होना है। So what I feel is this Kalkadravya is Ardha Bilva, and Falashruti is quite wide. Grahana Karana Akshirogana. Vidradi Jara Dushtaru Visarpa Pachikushtanu Visheshat Shuklatimira Naktandhya Ushma Amla Daharu. So पटोलाधिकृत माझ्या पुस्तकात बिल्व नाहीये, श्लोकात पण नाही. Okay. So I think this is some controversial part, and Amalaka Rasa is not used. Amalaka is also used in Kvatha. That is peculiar. And परपट कहाँ से ले लिया? हाँ, तो परपटम पालिकम पृथक, So major content in Amalaki and Inikvat, Dhruta and these Kalka. So Grana Karana Akshiroganit. So Urdhva all diseases are covered. So when such kalpa will work on Urdhva Vyadhi is mentioned, and when it will work on Jwara, Kushta, etc., depending on the Aushadha Sevana Kala. Again, we have to see the Adhikara. If the Adhikara of this is Timira, or mainly it is for Timira or something like that, then if we are thinking about this Vidradi, Jwara, Dushtaru, Visarpa, or Apachi, Kushtha, working in particularly Urdhva area, then this might be a thing that is to be used. This is a big question when to use which adhikar and what is our consideration of the main disease and what is the consideration of the upadrava of that particular disease or where the disease is. That is another important aspect over here. So when we are saying about the diabetic retinopathy, whether does it mean that the prameha is causing this upadrava? Generally, conventional medicine is saying like that, but they at the same time they say that even when the sugar level is very well controlled, it may lead to this kind of retinopathy. And even if we control sugar, then also we cannot revert the process of this retinopathy. So high sugar level has other complications, and this might be attributed to certain extent to this endarteritis or breaking in small capillaries leading to retinopathy or something like that. So whether this is just high sugar level or whether it is the generalized impact of diabetes in general. And anti-diabetic drugs are not conquering diabetes. They are just keeping the blood sugar level under control. And whatever are the effects of the blood sugar, that can be avoided if your sugar is in control. But at the same time, the diabetes keeps on spreading in the body and keeps on creating upadravas like nephropathy, retinopathy, neuropathy, etc. And so, truly speaking, if we want to get rid of these upadravas, then we should get rid of prameha and not diabetes. So there has to be a differentiation between prameha and diabetes. Prameha, according to Ayurveda, has a very big, can say, thought process, a very big samprapti, and most of the times it is anuvamshika as well. Retinopathy may be due to anti-diabetic drugs more than diabetes itself. So this is again a worthwhile thought process that if anti-diabetic drugs are trying to lower the sugar level, this is a kind of apatarpana. And this apatarpana is leading to many upadravas as such. So in such a scenario, if we get a patient of diabetic retinopathy, should we start going for the mirror disease itself? Or should we start searching for something for prameha which may be acting on Timira? So prameha and Timira common samprapti disease might be thought of or something like that. So what we need to do is to find the adhikara. There would be some people of opinion that for us this is a Timira, Amla Dushita or something like that. And we may directly go for the medicines for Timira, etc. When our diagnosis in that scenario is Timira Pratham Patal Gati, Ditya Patal Gati, Ditya Patal Gati, whatever it may be or something. And accordingly, we may plan the treatment. At the same time, we may continue with treatment for high sugar level or so-called diabetes, etc. Or whether we should look for a part which is basically for prameha and also having Falashruti as Timira, etc. So it might be possible to find such a part. The same is applicable about Visarpa. Say if it is in Urvajatrugata, then this is a choice of medicine. If this is working on Urdhvajatrugata diseases, so Gharana, Ghana, Karna, and Akshi, all these are put together in this Falashruti. So we may think of using this Patavadigrita. But only thing is, in Visarpa, in the initial stage, there is a Nisheda of Sneha. So, Vitam Nandana Rukshanam, Adave Visarpeshu Vitam Nandanam Rukshanam, and Snehanam Natu. There should not, there is a contraindication for Snehanam. So, initially, we may not go for this. Initially, we may go for Patodadi, Vata, as such. And then later on, we may switch over to this kind of medicine. Now, we in our text also have a concept of Upadrava. So that there is some So there are so many sutras in which they emphasize on a particular disease producing a particular upadrava. Tesham pradhana prashame prashama, that is the thing. So if we conquer the original disease, then it is possible to conquer the upadrava. As such. So, how to think about asymptomatic hyperglycemic patients? Now, this is only not for diabetes. This is for all kinds of diseases. Hypertensive patients, high cholesterol patients, HIV positive patients, hepatitis B positive patients. There is a lot of list in which there is some allopathic diagnosis without any symptom. And what Madhav Nidan Madhukosh says, यदि रूपम न उच्यते, if there is no mention of रूप व्याधे अशेष विशेषण स्वरूप एवं न्याय. What they say that एते सर्वे व्यस्ता समस्ताश्च बोधव्याः व्याधि हेतवः न च समस्तपक्षे कृतकरणत्वं वाच्यम् प्रमाणो संप्लवस्यापि दृष्टत्वात्. So if one is capable of giving you diagnosis, even then the other means of diagnosis are not worthwhile. It's not so. These are also worthwhile. So in that scenario, even when we have a diagnosis, we have to see the Nidana Pancham of that particular disease. And this is also true about all allopathic diseases and such. Generally, patients are coming to us with a allopathic diagnosis that this is this cancer, this is this retinopathy, nephropathy, etc., etc. And creatinine is so much, urea is so much, you give a medicine or something like that. Then I start convincing them that this is not sufficient for us. We need to have our own diagnosis. We need to have our own history. and then only we'll be able to tell something about it. Now, people are surprised with this, and they don't think that Ayurveda has a separate diagnosis. They don't think that it's a system, medical system. So there have been arguments by patients. This has been confirmed not only in India, in Australia, in US, in UK, everywhere. The same diagnosis has been confirmed. So what more you require? This is sufficient for you to start treatment. And it's not only me, it was Bhaku Nandan also who was interrogated like this. And he had to convince the patient for 1 hour to say that Ayurvedic diagnosis is something different thing and that need to be done. So our diagnosis starts with Nidana Panchaka, and that's a big lacuna in allopathic system. At least the positive factor has to be found according to Ayurveda. Whether we will be able to find the positive factor of the disease or not, this is again a big question. But at least at dosha level, dhatu level, agni level, we have to find those things as such. And then Sanchepata Kriyayoga Nidana Parivarjanam, this is the fact. So we have to avoid the causes. That is the first treatment, or that is in short the treatment or something like that. Then we may look for aggressive factors, anupashaya and upashaya, etc. Try to judge the samprapti and then try treating the patient. That is what is required. So just having a diagnosis, allopathic diagnosis is not at all sufficient to start any Ayurvedic treatment. We need to have Ayurvedic diagnosis in between. Modern science doesn't think about the Santarpana or Apatarpana concept. For them, all are same and need medicines to lower the sugar. Anyway, but that is why there is a failure. And why should we try to lower sugar of patient if he or she is not a patient of prameha or madhumeha as per our science? This is a big question. The experience of conventional medicine in this is large as compared to us. Now, as I often say, I am seeing cancer patients every day, 3, 4, even 2, 3 new cases and 3, 4 follow-ups or something like that. As compared to other Vaidyas, this is quite a big number. But as compared to oncologists, this is not a number at all. Even the Westerners are thinking that India is a better country to study cancer. Because of the population, their number of cancer patients is very big. Our oncologist sees 50 patients a day of cancer. And this is not possible in US or UK or some other countries. So they say that Indian doctors are exposed to more patients, and this lack of experience, this is one of the major lacunae in our today's practices. Bhagavadikar was of firm opinion of advertising. And when he was asked a reason for that, then he said, unless and until I would have advertised cancer, how could I have come across so many patients of cancer? Whether to go for advertisement or whether to go for other way of contacting public, this is again a different issue or something like that. He quoted one example in which there was asti vriddhi sadrisha lakshan, bone growth, cancerous. And the main reason behind that, it was a cancer of thyroid. He said, how can I connect this thyroid with this bone cancer? A peculiar kind of bone cancer in which the basic cause is thyroid cancer. Now, what to think about such cases? These are very rare. I have not come across such a case. I have come across many cases of osteosarcoma and such. I have come cases across cases of thyroid or parathyroid, but not a connection with thyroid and bone cancer or something like that. Upadrava as bone cancer, bone metastasis. But there is a mention like this, and our lacking of experience is one of the major lacuna. So, conventional medicine is treating so-called diabetic patients for many years now, and the experience is vast. So, the basic issue is if the sugar level remains high for a prolonged time, and it causes some adverse effects or something like that. That is what the experience of conventional medicine. Should we not consider it in our perspective? This is a question. And then we may have to think of the santarpana, apatarpana, etc. Like the cholesterol, now conventional medicine says that cholesterol is mostly generated within liver. 90% of the cholesterol is generated at the liver. Only 10% comes from the food material. So American FDA has withdrawn all restrictions on food material which are so-called high cholesterol, etc. Now this is a recent trend or something. In the same manner, if the body is creating sugar level, high sugar level, then it's in need of the body. We need to understand that need and satisfy that need. That is the issue or something like that. And it is said that the stress is the main reason behind that. And the brain requires more sugar. And that is why body produces more sugar. If it is Santarpanotha and obesity associated, PCOD associated, etc., diabetes, then Apatarpana is a good line of treatment, and there are so many medicines for Apatarpana. Chandraprabha, Arogyavardhini. Chandraprabha is bit Santarpana also, but Arogyavardhini and this Shilajatu and other drugs are there. But when it is associated with this stress as such, and that is why there is a requirement in the body of sugar, and that is why body produces it. And if we starve the body with sugar, we start using anti-diabetic drugs, then there is more demand because the sugar is getting destroyed. So what we need to do is do santarpana or use yoga as such for controlling the stress. Now we are using this chitta vritti nirodha from yoga. So ultimately that is going to help us in reducing the stress and then reducing the side effects of stress. Maybe insomnia, maybe hyper sugar level or something like that. So it is more difficult in psychological aspects. If it is just at physical level, then we can think more easily. When it comes to psychology, then this is more difficult. Can we try to establish a common samprapti of so-called Lakshana Samuchaya, which we normally find in DM, retinopathy, thyroid, cholesterol, CA, etc.? Of course, it will not be 100% true for all conditions, but at least we should be able to understand the nature of these values at primary level. What's your view? I have been thinking of this for many, many years. And the main motive behind this Triskanda Kosha or even Pratipadik Kosha is this fact itself. The nature of the disease that we find today may not match with the nature of the disease that has been explained in the text. in certain diseases, not in all diseases, but in certain diseases. Say, for example, Hridroga mentioned in the text and the modern Hridroga, IHD leading to myocardial infarction, leading to death. Now, shall we say that this resembles with our Hridroga because it is associated with Hridaya, it is associated with Hridaya. So we try to search medicines for today's IHD from Hridroga Prakaran itself. Will it fully work? I don't think it will fully work. We don't have the concept of this kind of viscosity of blood, formation of a clot, getting into the coronary arteries and blocking that arteries, and then further leading to sluggishness of blood flow or stoppage of blood flow leading to myocardial infarction. Now, this fact has been established by conventional medicine by varieties of means, pratyaksha, anumana, and everything. So we may not be able to deny this, that is for sure. Though the perspective is totally different, it's totally mechanical approach, that is sure. But whatever has happened, that is well documented by conventional medicine. Now, where is the lacuna of conventional medicine? They don't go for causes. That's a major lacuna, and that's our strength. We have a concept of dosha in between the lifestyle, food habits, and dosha and disease. Conventional medicine is lacking in that concept as well. So they don't think of the causative factors, they don't have a link of that causative factor to the disease as such, and they don't have an intermediate link of dosha as well. And this is our strength. So what we can do is try to establish a samprapti of today's found diseases. Supposing we are getting a case of Hridroga that has been mentioned in the text, Hridayam Karkachayaneva Daryate, etc., or Sashma Bharikam, Kapaja Hridroga, it's like a stone, big stone that is being kept in the Hridaya. If we really get patients with these symptoms, our diagnosis is clear, Kapaja Hridroga, Vataja Hridroga, or whatever it may be, we go for the treatment on the text. But when it comes to IHD, the only symptom that is shown by the patient is breathlessness on doing shrama or something like that. So dyspnea on exertion, this is the thing. Angiography is done, blocks are found, and angioplasty or bypass surgery is suggested. Now people may come to us if they can't afford bypass. People may come to us if they are unfit for surgery or angioplasty. People may come to us if they are frightened about surgery, etc., etc. Now, considering this particular samprapti that has been explained in conventional medicine, can we go for Ayurvedic management? So again, the sira, the rakta, the force, etc., etc., these are to be very well understood. And we may have our own samprapti regarding this. We may try to find medicines from Udavarta, we might find medicines from Vatasvyadi. In Avrutavata also there is a mention of Rudroga and even Mrityu that can lead to Mrityu. So if we find something like this, then our diagnosis is totally different. And Pariharya Visheshena Manaso Dukkha Hetava, that is also for us. So, Tanmulasta Maha Tattyoja Parirakshata, Pariharya Visheshena Manaso Dukkha Hetava. How to avoid that? Manasa Dukkha Hetu is to be avoided. How to avoid that? अगेन संक्षेपतः क्रिया एवं निदान परिवर्तन. तो धीधैर्यात्मादि विज्ञानम मनोदोषौषधम परम. Now it is easy to say this sutra. How to practically implement it? And here comes the problem. So convincing people about Ayurvedic approach, convincing them on the basis of criteria of modern medicine. So your cholesterol was this much and now this is this much. Your sugar level was this much and now it has been lowered or something like that. So what we need to do is our own diagnosis. So Udavarta is most of the times the diagnosis, and we may say Avrtavata also might be a diagnosis or something like that. They consider Sotoroda, consider Ama in that scenario. There can be a mixed picture, Santarpana and Apatarpana both. Santarpana at physical level, Apatarpana at psychological level. What we need to do is to understand it properly and counteract properly. So my main aim of writing a new Samhita is for two purposes. Those diseases which have no mention in our text, say cancer or something like that, because the causative factors have changed. Hybridization, chemical pesticides, fertilizers were not causative factors 40-50 years before. And Saiva Kupitodosha Samutthana Vishesha Sthanantarani cha Prapti Vikaran Kurte Bhumi. Samutthana Vishesha, Karana Vishesha is one of the important reasons for today's change in the nature of the diseases. Tasmad Vikara Prakriti hi Adhishtanantarani cha Buddha Hetu Visheshansha Shigran Kuryat Patra. We understand the Vikara Prakriti of cancer and Adhishtanantara, whether it is liver cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, etc. Shigran Kuryat Patra. And Buddha Hetu Visheshansha. So by knowing the Hetu Vishesha, Shigran Kuryat Patra. So what we need to do, try to find resemblance of any kind. It may be a causative factor, it may be a symptom, it may be a dusya like liver, lung, etc. Whatever the thing is, if we find some correlation with that, we may have a clue to treat the person on that basis. Dosha, dusya, dhatu, mala, agni, these are varieties of factors which we need to see. Nowadays, Vyadhi Pratyanika approach is increasing, Dosha Pratyanika approach is decreasing. So, Sukshma Vichar is lost and Chikitsa is becoming peripheral. I was treating my student who was having Timira Dosha. Her mother is a case of retinal detachment. When I took her case, my diagnosis was Dhatukata Jvara with Mausakshaya. Akshaglani is one of the Lakshana. So I treated this diagnosis and she is much better now. But sadly, students nowadays don't want to think so much. They want quick result. So proprietary medicines are rising. It's a shortcut. Cholesterol series humbug according to American Medical Association now. You listen to B.M. Hegde's talks on this. He is telling about this very emphatically. Sir, can chemical fertilizers, pesticides be included in Visha or Pittavata Prakopaka Dravyas? Yes. So that is what I was saying, that this is a Kritrima Visha and It has to be dealt with properly for all people, not only this. So Shirisha might be a good choice to be used for all people, not only patients but all people as such. So unfortunately, the only way of understanding Ayurveda is reading original text, understanding it properly, implementing it properly. What Kodhatkar sir did. I asked Jamadagni also many times to read original text instead of going for only questions and answers. He says, but he doesn't. Actually, he has read text. That is a different issue. But it has to be a continuous process as such, not that we stop somewhere and now it is sufficient or something. So the main emphasis on my learning or my teaching is on original text. And if we understand the concepts very well, then we will be able to treat all sorts of diseases. We may have a thought process to be set that this disease has to be seen in this perspective in Ayurveda and to be treated accordingly or something. But unfortunately, as Yogesh said, there is an increasing trend of treating patients with modern diagnosis without having any intervention of Ayurveda, and that is bad. I don't mind having modern diagnosis, but we need to have our own diagnosis as such. And our treatment is based on that Ayurvedic diagnosis, then it will be fruitful. This would be able to prove it on the basis of allopathy as well. There is no doubt about that. It may take some time to really see results on allopathic parameter that sugar has come down, the cholesterol has come down, etc. Thyroid levels have improved, etc. etc. It is possible. It's not that it won't be possible. But just bringing them to normal value, so to say, is not the treatment. What the allopathy is doing is the same. It's then managing the patient. It's not really treating the patient, not going to the root cause. And we are trying to go to the root cause. We are trying to cure it, really speaking. And then it takes a longer time. It depends on the dosha vaishamya, kind of dosha prakopa. And dosha prakap, the apachara vishesh has to be thought of to understand dosha pramana vishesham, apachara vishesham. So one has to see the positive factors and then go for that. And if they are at physical level, then still they are manageable well. When it goes to psychological level, then it becomes a problem. Stress, worry, anger, anxiety, etc., etc. These are varieties of positive factors today, and how to deal with them. That's a big issue. And if they are influencing thyroid, they are influencing diabetes, they are influencing cancer or something like that, then we are trying to see the results only on these parameters, and these parameters are not going to improve unless and until you stop positive factors. So, how to deal with anukta diseases that have not been mentioned in the text? How to talk about anukta dravyas, ahara dravyas particularly? How to deal with medicines which are become a part and parcel of our lifestyle now, allopathic medicine, and how to think about their effects on our body. If there is a book on present day Aharya Dravyas, in which category they belong, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Prakopa, then it will become much easier to diagnose on Ayurvedic basis. This is like putting a bell in the if problem is when patient is asymptomatic and have high cholesterol, for example, then how do we think about it? So there is a story of the rats and the cat, and they all united and said the best thing to have a ringing bell in the throat of this cat. Who is going to tie that ringing bell over there? That's a big issue. So how to think about today's Aharya Dravya, which are not mentioned, which are have traveled from Western countries and have settled over here. Problem is when patient is asymptomatic and have cholesterol, how do you think about them? So this is, as I said, a common problem, not only cholesterol. It is for all such categories, such diagnosis. Anyway, I am going to have a bridge between conventional medicine and Ayurveda. That's a requirement of today. So many people may think that I have left my path on Ayurveda, Shuddha Ayurveda or something like that, and I'm going away from my original path or something like that. But the major failure on the basis of Triskanda Kosha and even iSoft is we work for a very small group of Vaidyas. And that is why it couldn't become popular. That is why it couldn't spread among the Vaidyas. As compared to that era, we worked on Iskandar Kosha from 1989 to 2008. Now there are 12 years more after 2008. And the number of Vaidyas has increased quite a lot during this period. So now the number is better. But still, as compared to allopathic doctors, maybe BMS, BHMS, and MBBS all practicing allopathy, this number is meager. And then, if we are working for a very small group, what impact it will create on the society? What impact it will create on medical fraternity worldwide or something like that? So, what is the need of today's scientific society? That we try to understand. If we address that need, then we'll spread all over the world. And the best thing to do is try to find out their lacuna and focus on those lacunas through Ayurveda, though I'm not going to say anything about a very quick way. My way will be textual and my way will be a long way. It's not a short way. But still, there should be different thought process about this. And if we bridge these with Ayurveda and suggest treatment in Ayurveda on the basis of Nidana Panchaka and everything, the purpose will be served. So that is what I am looking for now, henceforth. In Ashtanga Hridaya, while describing the Ashtanga Ayurveda, Jara Chikitsa comes after Damsha Chikitsa. While explaining the relevance of the order, Arun Datta said, Vishena Ashu Sambhavyamane Rasayanana Upayoga. So Rasayana therapy is important to counter these Visha chemical fertilizers. That is true. विलास नानल सरांची आहाराची बुक आहेत. But I think Vilas Nanal, Ramesh Nanal sir, and still they do not emphasize more on all Ahara Dravyas. What is easily understandable that he has explained about. But what is more difficult that still remains unexplained. So I do have respect for Vilas Nanal sir and Ramesh Nanal sir. Ahar Rahasya Bhag 1 से 5 and Ahara Nirogahara. These are two books by Ramesh Nanal sir. And we may try to study them. But what he has done, he doesn't go for Rasaviri Vipak. He directly says about the Aushadha Yoga of that. So one has to consider on that basis what might be the Rasaviri Vipak and Prabhava of that particular uh, dravya, ahara dravya. Anyway, this is also a good effort that he has collected so many references for that. He has given examples and is very well experienced. There is no doubt. From Madhuvanna Nanal, Ramesh Nanal, Vilas Nanal, Hapu Nanal, everybody is very well experienced. There is no doubt about that. So today, publicity or advertise becoming a must. If unethical practices are advertised, then why ethical practice should not be advertised? We need huge patient population to prove our medicines on scientific levels, which is required today. Ramesh Nandalan said, yes. Ahara ne rog hara, Ramesh Nandalan said, yes. And Ahar Rahasya Bhag 1 to 5, and then I think they have added another 2. It seems South Vaidya is doing like this. What you just told with reference to modern disorders and Ayurvedic Chikitsa, that the only lacuna in is that they don't go for positive factors according to Ayurveda. They are having perfection in understanding the avastha of the disease, samavastha, niranavastha, etc., etc., and they are using the kriyas accordingly. Maybe dhara, maybe basti, maybe anything, and they are having good result. There is no doubt about that. But actually linking these two is not happening. So this kind of disease, this condition, you treat with this. That's all. And it is very evident from the fact like this Sahasra Yoga that nobody has looked into the Sanskrit aspect of this. And this is really sad. Our main treasure of knowledge is our Ayurvedic texts on our Ayurvedic texts. And if they are neglected, then we are working on tertiary references or something like that. How to think and convince in Sthaulya patient when we do Apatarpana treatment like Lekhana Basti in them and then only think about weight loss, which is not our parameter for next to just Sthaulya. Ramesh Nanda Sarancha hai. Medicinal secrets of food by the Ramesh Nanda. This is in English. I didn't know about this. But as I said, he doesn't go for Rasaviri Vipak. He directly says about the Aushadhopayoga of that. That is also fine. Nothing is available. This is at least available or something like that. And as I said, he is very well experienced. So that is fine for us. Now, convincing patient is a big job and tough job, not a easy job. Even I find it difficult what to think about junior Vaidyas. At least I have written dozens of books and I can ask the patients to read those books. I have given so many interviews, there are so many recordings or something like that easily available. Even then, the patients are reluctant to do that. They just want medicine, that's all. And they want to get convinced about the use of the medicine without going for any these kinds of books or CDs or something like that. So this is difficult. Ultimately, nothing succeeds like success. If we have number of good successful patients, they keep on bringing you patients. If we have number of good students, they keep on sending patients to you. So anyway, if this is happening, students are sending patients, patients are sending patients, then we may not bother much about this. But still, how to approach the whole society is a big issue. And I don't think it's a right time now to approach the whole society. What we need to do is increase the number of Ayurvedic practitioners, good Ayurvedic practitioners, capable of treating all sorts of diseases, etc., etc. And then only we approach the society. Right now, we may try to convince the society about Vasthugupta. That is why I am taking up this concept of Ayur Yoga, etc. I have been emphasizing through TV media on early coming to Ayurveda, initial stage or something like that. it is not fruitful at all. People keep on coming only in the last stage. Even if I shout and I emphatically say, no, no, you should come right from the beginning, they don't come. No, this is the mindset. So we need to understand the mindset. Unless and until we become superior to allopathy, they won't come to us as first line of treatment. And how that can be achieved? It can be achieved only through number of Vaidyas. And how number of Vidyas will be generated? Through original text, adhayan of original text and practice. And this is a long way. So I have been struggling for this for last 9 years. I am on doing this original reading original Grantha. Everybody should do that. But I can say about myself, I can't emphasize everybody to do like this, etc. Anyway, we conclude here and continue tomorrow. आयुर्वेद प्रकांडो निगदित इह हि शल्यतंत्र प्रधानः शिष्येभ्यः शाश्वतोऽयं निखिल जन कृपा व्याप्त चित्तेन येन आयुर्वेदस्य वाञ्छन् पुनरपि भुवने ताञ्च सुष्ठु प्रतिष्ठां श्रेष्ठं धन्वन्तरिं प्रणमति च सदा वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् संहितेत विषवर्णिता आहे जंगम स्थावर etc. There are dushi visha is also combination of these and स्थावर साध्याचे हृदयाचे केमिकल हे संहितेतील विष प्रकरणाच्या अंडर येते. Can't say. We are saying that chemotherapy is having symptoms of dushi visha, so we started using dushi vishari agar. We should have a good infrastructure. Though we have capacity to treat, right now we are not able to treat mass. Yes, that is true. But what we need is keep thinking about this and as far as possible keep on learning throughout our life, and that is the need of the hour.